Hi everyone, welcome to Stitchin' It. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about my experiences with Dimensions cross stitch kits. I've only been stitching for about 6 years, but the name has been recognizable to me from the beginning, and I've really enjoyed watching a lot of videos on Flosstube, which have helped me get more familiar and even offered advice for completing them. So I'll link some of those videos below because it's really nice to see examples stitch up close when you're considering investing in a kit. So I've been working on some of my kits over the past couple of weeks, and I've been enjoying them so much that I wanted to make a video of my own. I really do like Dimensions kits because they are low maintenance since they're already kitted up, and they offer a range of difficulty from beginner to advanced, and I like the aesthetic of the kits in general. So I think they make great summer projects because they're, like I said, they're low maintenance and they're kind of self-contained. They're ready to go. They've got all the things you need in them to work on at any stage, and since they come with Ada, it's nice to take a break from linen or something that's just not as fussy, and you don't have to count threads, things like that. So I've been going through some of my things recently and getting rid of stuff, and it's really tough to get rid of old things that are no longer useful, especially if they have memories attached to them. So this is really the reason I decided to make this video now, so that I could have some of my thoughts and feelings preserved on camera and ultimately, learn to let go of some of the things that I don't need. So I don't have a large stash collection to show, but I still do buy kits occasionally, and I want to finish some of the ones I have before I buy any more. So that's what I've been planning to work on this summer. But I do buy my kits from Amazon most often, which can be hit or miss on prices. But if you add a kit to your cart, you can watch the price over a period of time, and you know when or if you want to purchase it. You know what I mean? So for me, eBay is a little bit harder to navigate, and I noticed that I end up buying more things overall because the items can be a little less expensive, or they're part of a grouping, or I just get caught up in a bidding, bidding for something that I don't really need. You know what I mean? So I do try to avoid eBay unless I'm looking for something specifically. I really don't mind paying a couple bucks more for an item that I really want if I can avoid making extra purchases, and if the item is going to ship directly and quickly to me. So I'm going to include links to the products that I show below, and they are affiliate links. So please consider clicking on them if you're an Amazon shopper. I don't use ads on my channel, and the commission is paid by Amazon. So it is a great way to support the channel. I began cross-stitching in the winter of 2013. It was pretty cold that winter, and I wanted something to do in the evenings. And so I had picked up this kit, a Dimensions kit, which I still have as my first project. This one is still available, and it's called Music is Harmony. And it has a violin and some flowers. It's a pretty old design. The copyright says 1997 on it. And I just loved the quote and, the instrument. I am a musician, so I love music. But of course, since it was my first project, I encountered many problems. I look at it, I didn't really know what I was doing when I started stitching, and I've lost the chart, so I would at least have to purchase the kit again to complete it, and it's not the worst stitches I've ever made, I don't think. But for example, one thing that I was doing was something that was sort of a precursor parking, I would just leave my thread hanging off on the back and think, oh, I'm going to get back to it and I'm going to go to the next color when I need to. And instead I just left long threads just hanging off, and it's just kind of ridiculous and embarrassing. But of course, I'm still holding on to this project for no particular reason. And I'd like to get rid of it, you know, but I still have some of the threads. I think the way I distributed them, I don't think I have enough to finish them because I balled them all up like that, you know. I don't know what color is what now. I guess I could sort them if I really wanted to. But I just made a mess of the kit in general. Now I'm going to save these threads, the dimension threads, so I can possibly use them in the future if I need them. But I'm tired of seeing this hanging around, so I'm going to do something that's never been done on Flosstube before, and I'm going to get rid of my UFO, and I'm going to get rid of it the only way I know how to, because otherwise I'll just keep on keeping it for no reason. And like I said, this is just not really worth finishing. So I'm going to do something that's never been done on Flosstube before, and I am going to, this is sort of my version of cutting up the credit cards and making sure this really goes out in the trash. And I can't believe I'm doing this. It feels really strange, but I'm saying this is trash, okay? I've got it on video now. You know, I don't need to keep the thing in my life. It feels much better. Okay. Whew. Next project. Are you shocked yet? Okay. This was the next one I purchased, which I wanted to try to do for my mom, because we both like peacocks, and she especially is a big fan of Flannery O'Connor, the writer, okay, who has peacocks. And this kit, I still love it. I mean, if I could finish it somehow, you know, I don't know, I just love the image, but there's so many problems that when I started this piece, again, because I didn't know what I was doing, and I don't even really like the fabric that much. This is what it looks like. I occasionally drag it out and look at it and consider it, you know, especially because it was supposed to be for my mom, so... But there are just so many problems, and if you look at my X's, I mean, I missed threads on Ada. I mean, how do you miss threads on Ada? Oh, but I did it because it was one of my first pieces. I started in the middle like they tell you to on these kits, and just kind of went out and didn't really organize myself. I didn't start highlighting the chart at first, and then tried to go back and highlight it. But it was really confusing for me, and at this point I'm tired of just dragging it around my life, you know. I feel like I would have to buy another kit to complete it, or I would be interested in stitching it on different fabric. I don't know, but I've still got some of the same issues with the kit that I had with my other one. You know, I wasn't properly sorting the threads, or you know, just taking one strand off at a time. So I have some extra, just, I don't know what it's for, I just pulled off. And so I'm definitely going to keep the threads, you know, but I don't know if this project is really worth it, you know, because I'm not going to be happy with the product, my final product, you know what I mean? So I'm going to get rid of it, and this peacock is going in the trash today, okay? Now this one, like I said, it was supposed to be for my mom, and I am getting, my heart is racing just thinking about what I'm about to do. But if I don't do something like this, I'll just drag it around in my life. Oh my God, here it goes, right through the... I'm sorry, Mom. Sorry, Flannery. But there are other good peacock patterns. And, I don't know what I just did that for. Why am I doing this? Why didn't I just, you know, like I said, if you have an issue with your credit cards, you used to see these kind of things where people would cut up their credit cards or freeze them in a block of ice or something like that. And that's essentially what I think I'm doing when I'm getting rid of this. I mean, I know it's a problem to hold on to stuff, you know what I mean? So, okay, I'm keeping those threads for future possible dimensions, but I think I'm even going to get rid of, I don't know if I'm going to get rid of the chart. I didn't even mix it up, like I said. No, see, that's the problem. If I start thinking about what I'm going to keep, I'm just going to keep on keeping stuff. If I say, if I'm just going to keep the threads, maybe I'll just keep the chart. If I'm going to keep the chart, I'll keep the whip. You know, maybe I'll do something with it. No, I'm not going to. Okay? So this is my last UFO. This was my next Dimensions kit, you know, that I found called Purity, Strength, and Truth. And I love this one. This is still a regular Dimensions kit. And I was going through a phase, you know, my husband really likes Buddhas and things like that. And, but I've already cross-stitched one Buddha, and I've got another one in stash that I'm going to show you. And this one has a lot of problems with it, essentially. And it's not my favorite. I'll show you. So I don't think I'm going to save it anymore. Again, as when I started in the middle, just kind of felt like this is the statue and stitching wherever it was. And then I tried to grid with a marker, one of those blue markers, fabric markers, and start in other places to see if I could give myself a fresh start, you know. And it just wasn't working out, you know. My phase with the Buddhas is over, but of course I'm still holding on to this kit, you know, 5 years later. It's pretty messy, but anyway, you know, I'm just, I don't know, I'm torn on this one, but like I said, logic and stuff tells you one thing, and then your sentimentality tells you another thing. So I'm going to remove the temptation. I'm just gonna, oh my gosh, oh this, okay, so there, it's gone. I'm gonna again save the threads from the kit for the future, but let's just chalk it up to my inexperience and learning process. Okay, now that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna destroy any more kits, okay? We're moving on to whips, but first I'm still kind of, my heart is beating pretty quickly from that experience. So I'm gonna take a break here, and I'm gonna show you a little segment on my finish that I completed, which was Dreaming of Tuscany, and I'm gonna insert that here. Okay, so that was a fun project, and I really enjoyed completing it, and you know, it was my first complete Dimensions kit, and it was a Dimensions Gold Petite kit, so I had deluded myself into thinking that I was ready for Dimensions Gold, you know. So that's when I first started trying to purchase some of the Gold Collection kits, but I'm going to show you a couple more whips. This is another petite kit that I purchased. It's called Stacked Teacups, and It's not my favorite design, although I do like the colors because it's more of an updated look, you know, than some of the older Dimensions kits. This comes with 2 floss cards. These are the colors, you know, some pinks and a lot of half stitch, and that background is all half stitches in this light blue color. But the kit is more organized than I have, you know, before, and there's nothing wrong with the stitching itself. You know, the kit is fine. You know, I thought this would make a good gift for someone. I was thinking I might stitch it up and then give it away to someone, but I just don't know this. So this is I'm not gonna cut this one up. I'm not gonna get rid of it. You know, it's just going back in the bag. But that was my next Gold Dimensions petite kit that I got. And like I said, then I started looking at the big gold collections, and I bought a couple, and I started this one. Now this one is one of their newer ones. It's called Summer Bouquet, and I love it. I love the flower vases and the still lifes, you know, and this one next to the window it's got even a little bit of landscape in it too, you know. To me it's really beautiful, and it's on 18 count Aida, and I started in the middle, as most things do, but the biggest problem with this is that starting in the middle puts you right here in this little flower that is just nothing but confetti, okay? And so I've been having difficulties making it through that, but I know that I do want to finish this project someday. I mean, I just love it, but it's kind of on the back burner right now because well, I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to concentrate. Like I said, these gold collections, the big ones, are quite a bit more challenging than the petites. Okay? So, let's see. Here's another petite that I got. This is called Good Morning. I still have it in the packaging, but one day my 3-year-old, you know, I was restless. I wanted to start something, and my 3-year-old saw this kit in my stash and said, "Ooh, Mommy, that's you and me," you know, the mommy and the baby. So I started it, of course. Haven't made too much progress on it. In the middle, of course, and it's just a small start, and again, I'm not really working on it right now, but I do want to finish that one. But that one is full coverage, and it's got a heck of a lot of floss for something that small. Let me see how many. It's 3. It comes with 3 thread cards, which, if you know, is pretty. That's a lot of thread for a petite collection. Now, after I started becoming more familiar and purchasing some gold collection, I realized that I may not be ready to work on them. You know, they are very, very difficult. So I kind of backed off and went with some regular Dimensions kits again. So I found this one. Of course, since I got rid of the peacock, or hadn't worked on it, I saw this one. I can't remember where I got it. I think I got it in store. But this is called Peacock Butterflies, and it is so pretty. It's not a Dimensions Gold kit, but it is on 14 count Aida, I believe. So it's a little bit easier, and I've made some progress on it. This one's pretty tough because it comes with all this metallic thread. I'm talking about, let me see if I can find it in here. A whole bundle of metallic thread, and this is the most metallic I've had in a design, you know, a Dimensions design for. And it's, you blend it, all these things across the top are 2 strands of the metallic and 1 strand of floss, and it's pretty tedious, you know, but I think it's going to be really pretty. And again, I like this one because it's more of one of the modern kits, and it's got a few different colors, you know, than you normally see in some of the older Dimensions kits, more of the vintage kits. So I've been working on that one some, and I'd like to eventually finish it, I guess. There's nothing wrong with the stitching on that one. I want to show you these bags too. Let's see. You know, the regular Dimensions just come in like these plastic kits, plastic bags, and the Dimensions Gold kits come in hard plastic at this point, and but they don't really work for long-term storage. But this is a set of bags I got on Amazon, and they come in different sizes, and I think this is the medium size, and it's still large enough to hold a full size. I guess it's A4. Is that what it's? You know, it holds a large size paper in there, and I've been transferring some of my Dimensions kits to these bags. They're very inexpensive, and they seem to be waterproof. You know, vinyl. They don't smell really bad either. And I'll try to link those below because they are pretty good. They come in a 5-pack, I believe. Okay, so that is peacock butterflies. Now, what else do I have? Alright, so I'll show this one next. This is another Dimensions kit. Actually, this is my most recent one. This is in the same type of bag that I showed you. And it kind of got me going on this kit for Dimensions this time. And that is my newest one. Like I said, I just purchased this one called Max the Cat. I wanted to get this one to sort of, you know, dedicate to our cat, who's gray. His name's Theodore. And he has, you know, it was really hard to find a cat that looked enough like my cat. And ours is more of a gray tabby, but he has more of like green in his eyes too. But I love this cat. You know, I liked it. It was in the triptych, so it's nice that I can just do one. Maybe, you know, I started on the top one, and maybe I'll just complete that one, or maybe I'll go on to the other one. But this is going really well. I'm enjoying this one a lot, and it is actually, I think, the easiest of the Dimensions kits I have. There's really not a lot of confetti in it. Or, like I said, it is not a gold collection. This is one of the thread cards to it. But it's mostly the gray cat, obviously, with just a little bit of background behind it. So, I think that one's a good kit, too. I'd definitely like to see that one. At least, like I said, at least one of the scenes finished. I started on this one, and I think I can see our cat making that pretty often. Okay. Alright, so we're up to my last whip, and then I'll just show you some of my stuff in my stash. But I had one gold collection I showed you that was Summer Bouquet, and that's an 18 count. And this one is my 14 count gold collection that I've been working on. Let me just take this off for a second. And this is where I'm at. This is an older one called Romantic Floral. You've probably seen it. It's designed by Lena Lou, and it has a really, you know, again, it reminds me of the violin one, you know, that I got rid of. It's got the music, and it's got the still life. It's got a really, you know, kind of a vintagey look to it with the maroon and the greens, but I think it's gorgeous. And this one I think has the most thread of any of the kits I have. But it's on 14 count, and there's a lot of, you know, 5-strand half stitch, 6-strand half stitch, stuff like that in this background. This is what I've got so far. I started this one in November, and I've been working on it a little bit. It's very challenging for me. So, I don't know, but I am working on it, you know. But I like the 14 count. I like the 14 count because I don't know why. I'm sorry. But it kind of reminds me of canvas work, I guess is what I'm trying to say, you know, because when you get used to working on plastic canvas, if you're used to doing needlepoint or things like that, the half stitch, the blends, things like that, they aren't as problematic once you're used to that, and it is better than canvas. Whatever you want to say about stiff, scratchy Aida, if you're used to working on canvas, it still is better than that. You know, that's what I think. So that's where I'm at on Romantic Floral. Okay, so that gave me, in my whips, I've got 2 gold petite dimensions, I've got 2 regular dimensions, and 2 gold collection dimensions. One is on 18 count and one is on 14 count. So I'm trying not to start anything else from my stash, you know what I mean? Like, that's a good assortment, and of course I've got plenty of other projects to worry about too. So I do want to show you some of my stash that I've gotten. I got 3 gold collection petite kits in the thing. Now this first one is called Exotic Butterflies, and it may be my oldest one. I actually got this from my friend Talia at a Stitching Together, and this one was made in the USA in 2000, and I think they still make this, but it's made in China. You know, the Chinese kits have those thread cards that we're used to seeing, and the older ones from America you have to sort yourself. Now I don't know when I'm going to stitch this, but I definitely do want to stitch it. I love butterflies, and the good thing about this petite collection is I don't believe the background is stitched. I think it's on just the navy Aida, so it's not even full coverage. So that would be pretty interesting. This next one is about the same age, and it says copyright 2000. Let me see. Sometimes they'll have the date that they were produced stamped on the back, but this one doesn't. This is again an older one that was made in the USA, and it's a peacock. So I was thinking if I really, really wanted to stitch another dimensions kit, a peacock for my mom, you know, I can do this one, and it would hopefully turn out better than my original effort. You know what I mean? And this is a newer one I bought. I think I've heard this one's pretty difficult too. It's called Overlook Cafe, and it feels pretty thick. Oh, I only see 2 thread organizers in this one, not 3, so maybe it's not too bad. I don't know. But this is by Sung Kim. That's the designer, and I have another kit by that designer. So again, this now is made in China, of course. Like I said, if they come with those thread cards like that, they've been made in China. So that one, I purchased that one pretty recently. Like this one has, I told you that this one's got a stamp, so it was actually produced in 2019. Okay. Now this one's really special, you know, especially since I just destroyed that Buddha cross stitch. I got this one from one of my friends, from Dina Half Stitch Cross Stitch, and she had showed this on her channel at one point in something. It was a while ago, you know, and I made a comment to her about it, how I really liked it, and a few months later, you know, she surprised me and gave me the kit. I thought she was just giving me the leftovers or something after she stitched it, but no, she passed on the whole kit, and I think that was pretty neat. You know, because I do like Buddhas, and I love the bonsai tree there, but this is an older kit. Again, it says copyrights 2002, so it's been a while, but it comes with not stamped, you know, printed Ada. And I'm worried about trying to get the creases out, especially if I use this fabric, which I think I should, you know, because, well, I just think, I don't know, I think it would look better on the actual stamped thing. I don't know if I would frame it as a project, but, yeah, I like it. So she even sorted the threads and put them all on thread drops, homemade thread drops. That was really nice of her. So I definitely want to stitch that. The colors are nice, kind of earthy tones, I guess, mostly subdued, not real bright. So that's pretty neat. Let's see. And that's why I felt comfortable letting go of that other Buddha that wasn't coming out the way I wanted it to. Okay, this is one I'm thinking about starting sometime. Glory of Autumn. This has been around for a while, and I got this one from somebody actually at church, so they gave it to me. I didn't purchase it. But I've seen Calico stitch it, and it looked great, you know, the way she had it. I've been considering, you know, whether or not I want to stitch this on ivory Ada that comes with it, or if I might try to, I was thinking like a yellow or an orange, more to make it look more like, I don't know, because there's blue in the back stitching. I haven't decided, but I'm not going to start this one anytime soon. Maybe this fall if I felt like it, but like I said, I would really like to finish some of the ones I have first before I get started. This is on to Gold Collection. These are some that I've got waiting. I would like to buy some more Gold Collection kits. I've got a wish list going on, you know, but I don't want to buy them just to have them sitting there and have to carry them around and store them and things like that, you know. So I've got one 14 count Gold Collection in here, and that's Fields of Lavender. This is by the same designer, Sung Kim, who did that Overlook Cafe. And I liked this one because it reminded me of another Dimensions kit I have that's a needlepoint kit. I showed it in my last video, but it was, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be France, or it could be in Italy too, but some kind of, you know, I just love how it's got all those purple. You know, I just love purple. I love the landscape and everything like that. And like I said, this is 14 count. So that's in there. This was another one, it might have been the first Gold Collection kit I ever bought. And I saw this at Hobby Lobby. And it was on clearance for $12, and I was like, okay, I will buy that. You know, if you see a Gold Collection kit for $12, even if you don't like it that much, you should pick it up. But it's grown on me. I like it again because the flowers, you know, it's by the window. It's even got this little mirror. That's really pretty. And this cute little cat. At the time when I bought it, I didn't have a cat. I've never had a cat until we got our cat Theodore last year. And now, of course, I like cats. So I wouldn't mind stitching this. But this one's an 18 count. I opened it to see what was inside at one point, but I haven't started it or messed anything up in there. And it's on white Ada, which a lot of the newer kits seem to be on white Ada. I guess it's a very clean look. But speaking of which, I got one more, and this is why I'm trying to stay off eBay, you know. because I bought this kit for no reason. I bought it because it was a good price and a bid, and I got it to collect, but I don't really have any intention to stitch it. But I wanted an older gold collection kit. I wanted to see one of them close up, so I bought this kit off of eBay, and this is one of the, it's called Great Cats, and it says copyright 1994, so it is, let's see if it has some sort of, it's in the bag, you know, it's never been opened, but it's not one of the more popular kits, you know, and it is on white Aida. It's not even full coverage, you know, if you can do this border all the way around, but I don't know. I think if I did it, I would probably do it on a different type of fabric. I have seen it stitched on red Aida before, which I don't think I would do, but something like that, something orangey, or, you know, I don't know. But like I said, I couldn't pass it up. This one was originally $34.99 when it was purchased at Ben Franklin years ago, and I paid less than half for that. I mean, I was just like, why doesn't anybody want this? Because it's old and it's junky. I guess there's nothing wrong with it. Like I said, it's in great condition. But will I stitch it? I don't know. So that is my gold collection. And you know, I do have a little bit of a wish list that I'm keeping track of, and I'll just flash some of those pictures up, I guess, so y'all can see which ones I'm looking at, you know, if you're interested. But I hope this video was kind of fun, because it was really fun for me to show all of my projects. You know, I don't have a large collection, like I said, and I don't want to get a lot of more stuff, you know what I mean? So, but I would definitely like to finish some of the projects that I have. So, if you see anything that you have questions about, or if you have any tips for me, you know, if I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing, you know, let me know. Because I'm not trying to mess up or cut up any more projects. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.